Hey guys, welcome back. We start this episode with some very unfortunate news. As regulars will know, there's been a bit of a break in filming for a week or two. So, Huxley had knee surgery about 3 weeks ago now, and everything was going really well, very, very well. And not the Saturday just gone, the Saturday before, he woke up with very shallow breathing. So we went straight to the emergency vet, and he was taken straight in, and they did an ultrasound on his heart and found fluid in the sac around his heart. And he said, got to drain it because it's starting to put pressure on his heart, and that's why his shallow breathing is going into like kind of a shock. And so they did that. It was a risky procedure because they could nick the lung and all this kind of stuff, and they did it and it was successful, and he was breathing way easier and way more comfortable when he came out. And he said that 99.9% of the time the reason why there is fluid around the heart is because there is a tumor on the heart and it's started bleeding. So, in complete disbelief, we were referred to a heart specialist. So about an hour later we were there, and we were going to get an echocardiogram of his heart and a ultrasound of his abdomen. So they did the ultrasound of his abdomen. We were expecting to find nothing, and it came back with tumors on his spleen. And apparently in German Shepherds, this is super common. And the spleen and the heart apparently have a high blood flow, and the cancer metastasizes between the two very easily and very commonly. So we got that news. That was Saturday afternoon. And then we got the echocardiogram done in 5:30 that evening, and he had a tumor on his heart. So the vet was pretty much like, if anything starts bleeding, either his abdomen fills up or the sac around his heart fills up and he dies. And we're like, well, can we just let nature take its course so we can have as much time as we can with him? And he said, you do not want to do that. It's a very distressing way for him to go and for us to witness. He's like, pretty much, now, it's a time bomb. It's an absolute time bomb. There's no gradual. It's either not bleeding or gushing, it seems. So we went back and forth, and we said, can we get another day out of him? And he thought about it, and with the amount of fluid that had gone back into the sac around his heart, he said, yes, I think you can get another day. This was Saturday evening. I said, okay, I'm going to take him home, and we are going to have his perfect Sunday. So we filled him up with coagulants and painkillers, and he had a great night's sleep that night. And then the next morning we did all his favourite walks. He chased all the squirrels in the world and chased all the rabbits in the world, and we sat out on the front garden, which was his favourite thing to do. And a lot of people came by because he is really well known in the local community for sitting on the front garden, because we don't have a fence, and he just sits there and presides over the neighbourhood, and has done for the past 8 years, sorry if only had 8. And then, we took him in. And he passed, surrounded by a lot of love and hugs and kisses and an amazing team at the place. He was on his bed. It was perfect. Well, as perfect as it can be. So that then led to a week of crying last week, because my immediate family is 3. Me, wife Tastic, and the bear, and we did everything together. He was off leash for everything. All restaurants, he came, So a fundamentally different life shape is now. So yeah, we're back at it. It's Monday, we're back at it. We are moving forward. The truck is going fine. I've got some exciting stuff to talk about for kind of an expansion, which is good considering what we've got going on. But today we are dealing with steering column and putting the heater box in and making the dash start to function, basically pre-building it now. One thing you will notice in probably the next couple of videos, because they were shot several weeks ago, I reference him, which is crushing. So that's why the timeline is out on that front. Yeah, let's get on. You may be saying to yourself, Lathan, why are you up so early on Memorial Day Monday working on trash cans? It's just what you gotta do. Wife-tastic is out in about an hour, and the bear, still recovering from his knee, needs kind of attention the whole time. So when she leaves, I have to go inside. So I'm gonna steal a quick hour right now to see if this steering column is anywhere near. Because that is a huge factor in our progress right now, or lack thereof. Oh my, very shiny. Well, it looks better packed than the last one, that's for sure. So I think this is a universal GM one. Again, with I think tilt and I hope column shift. 32 inches long. So there's that. Give me a second. Look, it's not a plane, it's a helicopter. Joy. Helicopters usually mean crims. So this is a bulkhead firewall bearing, and I hope it's the same diameter, 2 inch, as the, it's all very shiny and cheap looking, rushed. Okay, spins inside the column. Okay, seems to have come pre-damaged, but we will still put some tape on it. So this thing has a pair of grub screws which holds it together, which is kind of cool. And then I was hoping that it was going to slip over those two studs, and that was a big hope. Nope, didn't happen. So I'm going to cut those studs off, offer this up to the hole, and then make some marks. So right now that ridge here is stopping Mr. Bearing right here from going up high enough, so I'm just going to see if I can persuade that a little higher, because may as well use that hole if we can. The chrome definitely not in keeping with the car, so as you can see, beat around the top a bit, and I've got 3 holes in. This one, when the cab comes off, I'll modify that so it's flat for this, but 3 holes right now are going to hold this in place enough. Ooh. 3 holes are going to hold this in place enough, and the bearing still moves because the grub screws on the side are loose. So hopefully, you know what, I wonder if I've got enough angle for this. May not be as simple as I thought. For a quick stolen couple of hours, I'd say not bad. So we've got a bottom mounting, we've got a top mounting, haha. We've got that there, so we're gonna have to, as I said, it's gonna be off. It's gonna be wildly off, but it's gonna be in that ballpark, but nothing we can do right now. Truck has to stay mobile, and then how far does it poke through? Come on, beautiful, where are you? Where are you? So that's how much is coming through the firewall. We need enough room for a shifter. I think, you know, I can always mess around with the, you know, offset of the wheel, it can go back through. But I think we're good. I think that this length is good. So 32 inch is what we need if we're doing a C10 on a Crown Vic. And you happen to put the cab where I've put the cab, there you go. That's the steering column you need. Yeah, so I think that's good progress. And next is obviously that's going to be going in to create the top mount for it, and then the column will be completely in, and then we can start messing around with steering wheel, hob, all that kind of stuff, and then the wiring will be going back in, and I can geographically locate the wiring. May mess around with the wiper linkage. Don't know how that works. I've completely forgotten how the wiper linkage works. Okay, yeah, okay. So we're gonna have to dodge the wiper linkage in here with wiring. Okay, I'm gonna have to look on YouTube how to put the wiring linkage, but the wiper linkage back in because I have no idea. So we'll get the wiper linkage back in. Heater box will have to go in. Steering column finalised, and then we can get the wiring and mounts all in before this comes off for its big final weld. As we all now know, this is today's movement project. So that, oh, I have a mount. I have a mount, I have a mount. I have this. Now, I'm quite sure this is supposed to probably go like that, but I need it higher. That's too low. So I'm thinking that is, well, like that. I'm thinking, I'm thinking it's gonna go something like that. So when that's in the dash, it will sit higher. Don't know though. So many considerations. So many considerations. It's really thin. It's really, really, really thin. I suppose we could do that and then test the height. Then probably just literally just put 2 pieces of metal, you know, just cut 2 pieces of metal like that, and then just mount it straight to the back. And I think that's going to be plenty strong. But right now we've got to figure out where to put that. Oh, pedal's got to go back in. Gas pedal. Okay, what is our clearance? Ooh, it's tight, but it's fine. 'Tis as Ford Short Fevy intended. They are 11s. The 11 is out somewhere. Where are you, Mr. 11? Were any of you screaming at me that it's right there? Okay, pedal is in. We know our clearance. Oh, wiring. That's scary. See, that's one of those that'll do precise measurements. Oh, did I tighten this down? No, I didn't. Jesus Christ. Really do need this out. I really, really do need this out. Bearing, stuck on. Okay, so now we have a huge Meccano set, trying to get this, you know, in line with that. And of course, I made a boo-boo and completely mismeasured it by 24 centimeters. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that happened. So now we've got this in. So we'll tack this in there, then fill that gap, with a piece that's over there, and the pig's ear will be complete. God. Alrighty then, update. There you get the idea. It ain't even. Hey, definitely getting me down a little bit. So we have, none of these pieces line up or anything. So, I've had to put additional pieces. I welded that. It was kind of like spotted before from the factory, so I just series welded that. Yeah, it's fine. That is there, and I'm gonna be putting a block of steel, which I'll show you in 2 seconds there, and then that bearing's in. Pushed it a little bit further in, so then we have our homemade steering wheel over there. Don't know how any of this works in here, so that's gonna be interesting. So right now, yeah, real thick steel here, and we'll cut that plate, 4 bolts basically, and then that'll hold the steering column in. That's version 1. I'm definitely not going to have a problem with legroom, that's for sure. I've looked at pictures online, and where the top of the wheel is in the dash, this is a tilt column. You can tilt it down. This may be actually a good position. Raise the seat a little bit. It may give plenty of room, with extra room at the back of the cab with that gone as well. Or we can just add some box section on the bracket that basically space this piece down, and then we can also telescope the column forward as well. You can go another couple inches forward, so we are definitely on the right track. And this is my dodgy Crown Vic adapted Chevy steering wheel with holes that don't line up. Yeah. Okay, on to tomorrow. Now, I don't know. Well, everything's in, I think. Definitely got that going on. It cancels and everything, but I wonder if that's just a crappy column or not. But one thing I'm dying to do is put a seat in. I wish I could stand further back. Is put a seat in and see. I just want to see the room, because we've got that sorted and that sorted. I'm gonna go get a seat. I just realised I need wiring in. They're electric seats. Bummer. Right, to have seat fun, we need wiring in. To get wiring in, we need the airbox in. That goes right there. Guess that's the next job then. Okay, I foresee 2 problems. First one being possibly this, and possibly, what's that? And possibly this. We're about to find out. Oh, the blower motor's separate. Okay. I forgot there were 2 units. Come on. You know you wanna. Yup. If we could get it, that goes right on. You know when you make yourself problems, and you think they're gonna be a problem, and you're like, I'll just deal with them when we get there. And then when we get there, they're a problem. There is no giving this. None. Not now I've done that. I wonder if there was more give before I did that. I bet there is. How many times I'm going to take this steering bracket off? How many times? We just bought ourselves some flex. Now, how much flex is the question? Oh my god! Oh, I'm stuck. Oh my god! It fits. Who da thunk it? Who da thunk it? I have no idea how this attaches. I need to buy another Crown Vic to put this back together now. Okay, okay. We got those there. And that will go straight up. Nice. This is the only. That looks like. There's a gentleman who does some 3D printed stuff, but obviously they do not have room. So that one will probably get blocked. Then we have dash. And obviously this was face. I mean, we may be able to go really, really steep with it, but have to see what kind of like carve. The door hinge is really close to this opening. Possible mess aroundery around this area. Maybe instead of doing feet, we could possibly do some kind of like face situation, depending on wiring. Looks kind of proper, doesn't it? I remember now the airbox on the other side that isn't here obviously has studs which hold this in, so this is all going to be temporary right now. Obviously it's going to be temporary. Yeah, this whole area is going to be, because that's like the air intake is up here somewhere. It's going to be interesting. you think you're getting really close, and then stuff crops up. With the angle of that, I'm assuming. Hang on. How does this go on? Where does this? I'm so confused right now. I'm so confused. Why am I so confused? No, that goes there. That's right. No, I'm right. So what's that? Oh, is that to pull air from the interior of the car? It's getting tight. This is getting tight. This is getting tight. Oh my god. So we have to do this to find out where we're going to route the wiring. Got good room here for wiring. That's good. It's great. And then I've got to get this up. So Wife-tastic is out on business again today, so we're on a little bit of a short day. So we're going to get a wriggle on. Let's see if we can not blast ourselves with dust the very first time we turn the blower on. Yeah, round two. We're closer. We're definitely closer. We are not there yet though. Did I really take that pen away? Oh. Okay, I've seen a few guys have to really chop these things up to make them work, and I think we're going to be okay. I need to put the wipers in though. I need to figure out how the wiper linkage works again, because I have no idea, and I need to figure out which holes. Let me see if I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Right, you've got the big blower that obviously is on this side, which covers that, comes out here and then like that, and obviously we're going to have to trim this. Once the cab goes back on, we'll put that heater box in, and then this will have to be cut around it. Now, what I was looking at was, if you look at these holes, it looks like there's been a bolt in there and it's taken the paint off, and the same over there. Now this one doesn't look like it has, so I'm assuming this is for like a right-hand drive vehicle. Australia, I assume, because I don't think we're getting any of these in England. Maybe South Africa. So if that is redundant, that's awesome, because the linkage is relatively small, making me think that like it's not going to come past here. And if we look in, I only need to get an air intake there, so we can basically block this off, you know, so it's like weather tight. And then this is coming up, but it can come to the side, if you know what I mean. I mean, walk in here. So we can build, this is the other side, obviously. We can raise this, you know, really as high as we want. And then that can create a duct going across the top into here, which is basically in to the back of the fender well. And I'm pretty sure relatively weather tight. So we'll bring air in. That could work particularly well. That means we'll be paneling that up there. Okay. Okay. So that's good. So we've got all that in. We have all that in. Maybe able to stick a screw in there to push that forward, and then we can put the steering column back in, because I'll loosen that, and then we can start to mess around with getting some wiring in. I'll give it all a wipe down so it's nice and clean. Then we can maybe start getting some wiring in, getting some wiring mounts up there along that back. Just got to keep that out of the way of the wiper motor, which is going to go there. But I genuinely have no idea. I've completely forgotten how the wipers work, which is really unfortunate.